To that end, there's a new bipartisan bill in the House that would tap into the $2.6 billion fund to pay air traffic controllers during future shutdowns, Congressman. There are suggestions that we should even go further. Canada, the UK, Germany, and Australia have partly or completely privatized their air traffic control. Should we be considering that in the U.S.?
Well, I think we need to consider all options, Maria. We made a push for that a couple sessions ago, and it fell short. But, you know, these when government can't get its act together, unfortunately, the traveling public, and particularly these air traffic controllers in a stressful job to begin with, are the ones that are put out. And you know, they shouldn't be punished, nor should the traveling public be punished for these government inefficiencies and these impasses. Unfortunately, they are paid for by the government, and of course, privatization, like some of these other countries have done, provides the opportunity for that to just continue on while government fights through its impasses and its problems. So I think both things are reasonable topics to delve into and to consider.
So you want to tap into this aviation trust fund to fund operations pay in potential future shutdowns?
Well, like I said, I think we should consider it. The trust fund has $2.6 billion in there. It's not doing a whole lot usually. I mean, we're not using it, generally speaking. So if that's a methodology, if that's a solution set, I think we ought to consider it. There might be ramifications like increasing the cost of the premiums of that fund, and I wouldn't want those to go to passengers. You know, that cost to be carried on. So we have to consider all of those things.
Congressman, let me move on to something that you lived through. Fox News Digital is out with an alarming new report that the Biden DOJ subpoenaed more than 2 years of House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan's phone records in 2022. A federal prosecutor ordered Verizon to hand over the phone data going back to January 1st of 2020. As part of his Arctic frost investigation, Jack Smith did it, an expansive spying effort targeting Republican senators and congressmen. Watch this.
This was for 2.5 years. Every call you make, who you call, who calls you, how long the call lasts, where you're at when you make the call, for 2.5 years. I mean, that on the top Republican on the Judiciary Committee, a separate and equal branch of government, and in the subpoena it said, well, we're going to tell the carrier you can't tell the customer, in this case me, you can't tell the customer because he might be a flight risk.
Congressman, you know all about this. You also were spied on by the Biden FBI during this time, and they even came over to you and took your phone out of your hands. Tell us what happened.
Right. Well, that's exactly right. I was traveling with my children, my family, and my in-laws, and the FBI showed up and seized my phone, and just as you described, and then took all the information off of it. And look, we still to this day, I wasn't the target of an investigation. I wasn't accused of anything. I wasn't charged of anything. But they essentially destroy your reputation. They try and bankrupt you, all for political purposes. And now we found out, obviously, last night that Jim, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, had been surveilled, spied on for 2.5 years. For what? What is the probable cause? Maria, I'm going to tell you what this is about. Is because Jim Jordan and Scott Perry and certain senators had a relationship with Donald Trump where we would discuss public policy and the things that we're supposed to. And the Democrats cannot stand him, and they wanted to throw him in jail, and they want to chill anybody that had a conversation with him from doing anything, and make, you know, you wouldn't want to go work for the administration. You wouldn't want to discuss anything with the president. This was all about subverting the will of the American people and the government that they elected. They wanted to actually shut this whole thing down by intimidating people out of doing their jobs. It is outrageous. It's a violation of our constitutional rights. And it's not just members of Congress. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of American citizens that are going to find out they've been rolled up, maybe not in Arctic frost, but in other weaponized Democrat-run operations.
That is so dirty. I mean, it's just dirty tricks. And it's amazing to me that this went on for as long as it did and was as expansive as it was. Congressman, will we ever see any accountability? I mean, this is only going to happen again if nothing's done, right?
That's what I think. And look, we never want bad things to happen to anybody, but somebody ordered this. I know in my case, the FBI director knew about it. The Attorney General of the United States knew about it and signed off on these things. Somebody has to go to jail for this. What they did was use the awesome and unstoppable power of the federal government to persecute their political adversaries. It is a violation of civil rights. Somebody has to be held accountable for making those decisions and carrying out those actions.
Well, by the way, they did it to President Trump when he was a candidate, and then even when he was a sitting president. Do you remember Russia collusion, which went viral across the world, and it was based on a lie that Hillary Clinton's team came up with to take down her political enemy, Donald J. Trump?
Right, right. And so far, no one's gone to jail. They're all hoping to wait out the statute of limitations, or it's politically, that's in the past. And you're right, this is going to continue. These are things from the third world. These are things from authoritarian, autocratic governments, not from the United States of America. We've got to reset the playing field, and somebody has to be held accountable so that other people know that this can never be done again by any side.
Absolutely. Congressman, we're going to be watching your work on this and all of it across government. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Thank you. God bless you.